All right. Well, it looks like we are live. We are doing it live. Welcome, everybody. This is going to be the first time that we have done our Spokane Mountaineers general membership meeting here online. Welcome to the Spokane Mountaineers group. Welcome to my house. Hopefully, you're all staying 6 feet away from me. And really appreciate you guys tuning in with us tonight. This is kind of something we've thought up on the fly and something we're going to give a whirl with. But we're going to go ahead and introduce everybody to what it is that the Spokane Mountaineers does. I'm just stalling for time momentarily while people wind up joining the live feed, and then I'm going to give a great introduction to who we are as an organization, and then we're going to have our guest speaker on to tell some wild and wacky, crazy stories. And we'd like to welcome all the new members that are in the Spokane Mountaineers group. We've made this Facebook group public so that people that are not members of the Spokane Mountaineers can join us and can get a window into what it is that we do and who it is that we are and how it is that we play outside, because we live in one of the best playgrounds in the United States, which is up here in the inland Northwest, and we have a lot to offer, and the Spokane Mountaineers is a very dynamic organization that helps people enjoy the most that Spokane and the surrounding areas have to offer. So thanks again for tuning in with us. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick introduction about who the Spokane Mountaineers are and what it is that we do. First up, I want to introduce myself. My name is Lee Ciavola, and this year I am the Vice President of the Spokane Mountaineers, and I'll tell you a little bit about who it is that we are. The Spokane Mountaineers is actually a group, an organization that is over 100 years old. Our organization was founded in 1915. It is actually it was at the time founded as an entirely women's organization in 1915. They held a very controversial vote a few years later to allow men into the organization. At the time, it was called the Spokane Walking Club, and they allowed men into the group about 2 years later, and they wound up renaming it into the Spokane Mountaineers. Over the next 20 years or so, after the Spokane Mountaineers were founded, it grew into an organization that held a credo of developing an outdoor fellowship with a responsibility to preserve the wilderness values of the inland Northwest. And so our organization has done that for many, many years. We have even named several peaks in the inland Northwest, including our own Antoine Peak, Shasta, the Gary Palisades, Bonzer Crater, and plenty of other ones in the area. So we truly have been part of the historical foundation of outdoor exploration in the Spokane area. In 1939, our group actually purchased 40 acres up on Mount Spokane. That was well before it was a ski resort. And they built multiple buildings, including the building that you see in the photograph behind me, which is a 2,000 square foot mountain chalet that is reserved for general membership use. All of our members are allowed access to use the chalet at their discretion for general recreation, for if you wanted to go skiing or go pick huckleberries. And it's a really awesome spot. We host parties there. We host outdoor education. We host a wilderness first aid course there that is exceptional. We host retreats, and we also just allow our member base to go and use it for personal recreation. So it's one of the greatest benefits about being part of the Spokane Mountaineers. Later on this year, we'll host one of our general membership meetings up there and go pick a bunch of huckleberries and make a bunch of cool food out of that. So I'm excited for that season. Our members today, we have over 800 of them. We have a board of trustees, and we also have elected leadership. I'm super proud to announce that we are an entirely volunteer and brand new 501c3 nonprofit organization. So thanks to all the people that got that done, because it's great being a 501c nonprofit organization. It's really going to open up the windows and doors of what we can do with our group in the future. Membership to the Spokane Mountaineers is only $50 for an entire year to be part of the Spokane Mountaineers, and you can sign up for a membership online at SpokaneMountaineers.org. All of our members gain general access to our calendar of events, where we have events from all different kinds of sports throughout the year that we're allowed to join in on for no additional cost. And you have the ability to join any outings, as well as year-round complimentary access to our chalet. About some of our activities, our members lead outdoor trips in all kinds of sports, from just walking or hiking. We do biking of all kinds, paddle sports, backcountry skiing. We teach rock climbing, and of course our specialty is in mountaineering and high alpinism. We encourage you to not only join as many outings as you can that are led by our experienced trip leaders who know the area incredibly well, but you also want people to join us and lead trips of their own. If you know secret areas up here in the inland Northwest and you're willing to take a couple people with you, those are the kind of small groups that we really love to have up here on the Spokane Mountaineers. One part about our organization that I think is absolutely incredible is our education aspect of it. We've incorporated a strong educational and leadership element in the Spokane Mountaineers. We teach everything from backpacking. We teach rock climbing in all of its various forms, starting from general top roping all the way up into lead climbing. And we even do a sport trad school, which is all incredible as well. We also teach ice climbing a couple times a year, and we also teach mountaineering and high alpinism, which is the cornerstone of our educational program. It's called Mountain School, and it's a comprehensive 13-week-long school that teaches experienced backpackers the skills necessary to ascend into the high alpine regions and climb mountains on rope descending teams, which is an incredible experience. That school actually culminates in a full ascent of Mount Athabasca as a group team, which is in the Columbia ice fields of Jasper National Park, Alberta. This is a picture that I took when I completed mountain school last year of us coming back down the head wall on the Athabasca Glacier. So really incredible experience, that one. Unfortunately, due to the current events with the COVID shutdown worldwide, we've had to postpone our mountain school and postpone our backpacking schools. And so we are greatly looking forward to next year's group coming back and joining us and adding new members and new faces to the team. It's going to be an exceptional year, and we're all ready to get outside, I think. There's lots of other things that we include. We also teach wilderness first aid, and I'm pulling hard next year to get an Area 1 avalanche course into our Mountaineers curriculum and help people start backcountry skiing and making sure they're educated on avalanche safety. I do want to mention one more thing. Lastly, but certainly not least, one of the most important aspects of the Spokane Mountaineers, we are an organization committed to education of conservation. Oh my gosh, so many big words in one sentence. We believe that the wilderness is not only the world's gift to us, but we are also devoted to playing our part in conservation and donating yearly to the conservation organizations that are dedicated to completing projects that we find worthwhile. This year, we have donated to these 6 people here, these 6 different partners: the Dishman Hills Conservancy, the Save Our Cabinets Rock Creek Alliance, the Yellowstone to Yukon, the Inland Northwest Land Conservancy, the Spokane Riverkeeper, and the Lands Council. So we're very fortunate to have such amazing partners in our area that are doing great work to preserve our area. We know that in the future, nobody's really going to mind so much the mountains that we climbed, but only that we preserve those mountains so that they can climb them as well. So that, in a nutshell, is who we are and what we do. We would like you to encourage to become part of our membership group and part of our great organization. You're welcome to stay in the Facebook group and take a view of what we do for free. But if you'd like to join us, membership is $50 for an entire year. And just, the access to the chalet is completely worth it, to my opinion. So please join us. You can join our website on SpokaneMountaineers.org. You already know about the group because hopefully you're live in it right now, unless you're watching this post-dated on YouTube. And then the Spokane Mountaineers group, invite your friends. And we also have a new Instagram, which we're working on at the Spokane Mountaineers. So I'm very fortunate to be in the position that I get to help this organization along. Again, my name is Ciavola, so I appreciate you joining us tonight. Tonight we have a very special guest. We're doing our May general membership meeting, and the reason we do our general membership meetings is to hear stories and activities and events from the people that belong to our organization that want to share great things with us. So I'm very proud to announce that we have a good friend of mine here tonight. Please welcome onto the stage, my living room, Mr. Rod Price.
Good to see you, man.
Yes, thank you, Rod. I really appreciate you coming out here tonight.
Yeah.
And working on the fly with the whole COVID shutdown thing.
I am happy to be here.
We really appreciate it. So, Rod, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So I'm not a native of Washington or Spokane, but I moved here when I was 4. And I grew up north, about 50 miles north of here in the Valley, Springdale area. So I think I started climbing or rappelling at age 12 or 13. So anyways, moved, spent 6 years in the Marine Corps, and after that...
So you're a veteran.
Yeah, I'm a veteran, absolutely, and married for almost 34 years now.
Wow.
to my wife, Lisa, my partner in crime, as I call her.
Yeah.
I've got 3 sons, and they're all adults and doing their things now.
So the Inland Northwest is home for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
What kind of sports are you into up here?
Well, for me, it's anything that gets me high, right? So it's mountaineering, climbing, anything I can do.
Yeah,
so,
Washington State's a good place to get high,
absolutely.
I suppose.
Yeah.
So where do you work? You working in Spokane?
Yeah, working at Vista. I've been there for a little over 8 years now. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. You enjoy your work there?
yeah, love it. It's there's nothing boring about my job. So we have a great time and got a good team, and even during we're an essential business. So
Yeah, totally.
we it seems like we've been even busier during this pandemic shutdown time.
Well,
So
we appreciate you keeping our power on.
yeah,
Look at
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. I like to take personal credit for it, but I can't. But we do support the people who do keep your power on.
Well,
so.
I will give you personal credit.
Okay.
Thank you
thanks.
for saving the world,
Yeah,
Rod.
thank you. Yeah.
So I want to hear a little bit about when you were introduced to the Mountaineers. It's been around for a long time. Have you been a member for a long time?
Yeah, I think I've been a member for 4 years now. And what's funny is, so I got into mountaineering itself when I went to work for Avista, and a friend of mine, Troy, who's a prolific mountaineer, he's done so much, invited me and my scouts to climb Mount Adams with him. So he took us on this trip, and we got all ready. We went, and we just had perfect weather, perfect weekend, and we summited Mount Adams. Did the whole thing.
It's a tall peak.
Yeah, it was a great first one.
11,000?
It's 12,280.
12,280.
But who's counting?
Us.
Yeah, so really got just hooked right then and there. I was in, and so then we did some other stuff, and then he took us to Mount Baker the next year. And
Another big glaciated
another great
peak,
one,
yeah.
Great weather. We summited. That one was a little tougher. Coming back down just about did me in. I wasn't quite in the shape that I needed to be for that entire trip. But anyways,
Sure.
it's the typical mountaineer story, right?
Right.
And
You realize you should have done the training when you're
I was
halfway
ready.
up.
I was about a mile from the cars, and I was ready to quit and throw all my gear into the bushes, like throw my boots off, abandon it, and just walk barefoot back to the car. And you know how that is, right?
Yep.
So about an hour after I got back, got some food and some sugar in me, I was ready to plan the next trip. So then I said, I want to do Rainier. Rainier's my goal. And he says, that's great. I promise you this. If you go complete, you got to join the Mountaineers, go do the Spokane Mountaineer course and complete it. If you complete that course, I will take you on Rainier.
He was talking about mountain school, right?
Yeah, mountain school.
Yeah,
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, take the mountain school course, and then I will, because he said, because I need to know that you can pull me out of a crevasse.
Totally, yeah.
So that's what I did. A friend and I, she and I had summited Baker together on that trip, and so we joined. That's my buddy D. We joined.
Whom I know, actually.
Yeah, you know D.
Yeah.
So we joined and went to mountain school together and stuff like that. So
Cool.
Yeah.
When did you do mountain school?
It was. Let me think about this. I think it was 16, 15?
2015?
Yeah.
So a few years ago.
2016.
2016,
Yeah.
yeah. So a couple years ago. Did you guys climb Mount Athabasca?
We went to you guys. Well, I made it to Athabasca, and I was ready. I was pumped. It was all good, and I've talked about this at mountain school before, but the afternoon before, as you're getting ready, kind of doing the group meetings, we were done with the group meeting. I was walking back to my car, and I go down this little step. I found the only patch of ice in the entire campground, slid on it, and rolled my ankle and popped my ankle. It was so bad, and it was bad. And so I was popping ibuprofen. Everybody kind of was trying to help me. I taped it up, got it all ready, and I could fit it into my boot as it was taped. And so we went out. I actually went out with my team, and I got about halfway up the moraine,
Yeah.
And good old Matt Jeffries smart guy, right? So he stops the team and he says, "All right, hold on, Rod. I know you got it in you to do what you need to do, but we're kind of getting to that point of no return." And he said, "So if you want to go, you can keep going with the team, but we're at that point. If you get up to the upper part here, if you have to turn around and come back down, somebody's got to come with you. They're going to have to sacrifice to come with you." And I was just sitting. I was in so much pain. I was ready to throw up. And I thought, there's no way. There is absolutely no way that I'm going to make it all the way to the top.
Totally.
And so anyways, turned around and went back down. So I did not get to summit that year, but then I got to go back the next year as an instructor and got to summit the
Great.
next year. So
And so I think we would call that a successful summit in the Mountaineers. You know, you don't always wind up summiting the first attempt, but
Yeah.
you made a smart decision, turned around, and came back and got the mountain next year.
it was that first thing that helped me understand how to get used to disappointment. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, people get summit fever. They get so locked in, tunnel vision on the fact that the summit's the only important thing, and
Yep.
really it's not.
Yep. No, it's not. And I've had more than one occasion to turn around and make good decisions on the mountain.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're going to be talking with Rod about his project of 55 summits later. So
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't the perfect time to say that summit's not the point of the matter. 'Cause 55 summits in, and this guy's still shooting for them. But yeah, no, that's a great story. And that's actually, why don't we just segue right into that? Tell us a little bit
Sure.
about this project that you did.
Sure.
55 summits.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play with my computer while you tell us a little
you
bit
do
about that.
Yeah. So in 2000, at the end of 2018, I was looking at my 55th birthday coming up in January 2019, and so I'm sort of a goal-driven person, and I found that things like complacency scare the hell out of me. So I really wanted to have a goal to shoot for, and I decided that it was near the end of 2018. I said, for my 55th birthday, I think I'm going to summit 55 mountains. Right, I'm going to hit 55 summits. That's my goal. 55th birthday. I really didn't know
1 year, 55 summits in 1 year.
In
right?
1 year
Yeah.
during 2019, and I thought, I can do that.
Is that from your birthday to birthday, or from January to?
Actually, so January 1st through December 31st.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so just to kind of celebrate my 55th birthday year, not really realizing what that meant. But,
Right.
So,
no offense, but 55 is a pretty big number.
yeah, exactly. So that, it all started, some friends of mine got really involved in my family and stuff. And a friend of mine, Kelly, said, what we ought to do is celebrate New Year's Eve on Mount Spokane, on the summit of Mount Spokane. It's a great kickoff.
Sure.
Where, you can get people up there. We'll make a party of it, and we'll bring in the new year on New Year's Eve on Mount Spokane. So we started with that. And so I started making this list of all the summits that I wanted to do, and kind of the highlights that I wanted to hit. And as I started, I created this spreadsheet. Right.
Is this before you started, or?
Yeah, it was before I started. I started listing. I had all the big ones, right? All the cascade, the volcanoes,
Sure.
and then as you start going through that, and you start looking for high points, and then you start finding out, well, that trip is that's going to take. That's like a 5-day trip if I want to do that.
There's some big
right?
mountains in here.
Yeah.
We're going to go through his photos.
Yeah.
There's some good ones.
And so, the reality started to set in. And then, in sometime in January, I think it was, I was sort of lamenting. I have, this friend of mine, she's a professional coach, and she was coaching me at the time. And so I was sitting there visiting with her. And I was lamenting about the fact, I feel so selfish. This is such a selfish goal. And
why? Explain that.
Well, it was about my birthday, right? It's like, I thought, wow, how selfish. And my wife, bless her heart, is like, okay, I guess I'll see you in about a year. She was supportive, but you could tell it was just.
There's only 52 weeks in a year, Rod.
Right. Yeah. You start doing the math, you're like, oh my gosh. So, anyways, I was visiting with Julie, and I just said, I feel so selfish. She said. She stopped me, which she does, and she says, well, why don't you make it mean something? And I went, well, what do you mean? And she said, make it mean something. Do it for a reason. What she got me to was, to define what my why is. What is my why? And
exactly.
I thought, veteran suicide is near and dear to my heart. I was impacted. My mom committed suicide when I was 15 years old. I'm a veteran, and I take this whole veteran suicide thing very seriously. And I thought, maybe I'll do it as an awareness campaign and fundraiser for veteran suicide. So that's what I tied it to. Was kind of the finding something that was bigger than my own selfishness and
Completely.
tying it to that. And so that just kind of that was sort of this catalyst for people getting behind it, and the motivation for me was then to start using that to
Yeah, absolutely.
get inspiration.
So your project is about veteran suicide.
Yeah, that's what it became about, was to highlight the fact that 22, approximately 22 veterans or service people a day take their own lives. They commit suicide.
22 per day, huh?
Yeah, per day. So
there was a push-up challenge online, right? It was like 20, the 22 push-ups
22
thing.
push-ups, and there's exactly.
And that signifies the 22 people a day.
The 22 veterans a day.
What helps those veterans that are possibly suicidal?
What helps them, I think, having the ability to reach out, resources, getting the help they need, really just having people to talk to, and
Sure.
I think that bringing that awareness to it, and bringing the awareness out to the rest of the my contacts and their contacts, and that's what was happening. I was starting to get people now reaching out to me that I didn't even know, right, through Facebook, social media. And then at work, we have a lot of veterans at Avista, and they started reaching out and started connecting too. So it was pretty amazing what the response was with in regards to veteran suicide.
So you probably wound up being contacted by a lot of people who were venting to you or wanted to express emotion.
People saying thank you. People reaching out. People saying, I just want to thank you. My dad committed suicide. My dad was a Vietnam veteran, and he just lived this life of darkness for years, and he committed suicide just last year. My brother was a Gulf War veteran. He committed suicide. And just those stories are just sentences just saying thank you for doing this, right? And so I know that I can't personally save 22 people a day, but if what we do just saves one life, it's worth it, right?
And that also brings up a really good point, that there's a lot more than just the veteran themselves that's impacted by veteran suicide. They have big families and large networks, and
suicide affects so many people. And my family's been touched. Me, my sons, we've been impacted by the suicide of friends and relatives, and that it can devastate a family and a community, and we've seen that happen firsthand. And so it's just it's not just veterans. I'm rallying against suicide in general, but I'm focusing on the veterans because I am I understand their thinking, I understand their mindset, and that's what I'm focusing on.
How do you think the outdoors can play a role in people that are struggling with depression?
I think that number one is research, right? Psychological, scientific research backs up the theory that being outdoors and being in the fresh air and doing those things is good for your mental health. And anybody, especially if you're a mountaineer, that getting out there and being outdoors and doing that stuff is just really good for you. Climbing is my therapy, right? So I know, and me, I think I'm pretty okay, but man, when I need to get out, I go out, and I have to go up, right? I hate climbing up, right? I hate the physical part of it, but that's, for me, that's really where it's at. And I feel like, that's getting out there and just experiencing, the physical and mental challenge of tackling something big is really good for the soul and the mind.
It gives you, it's purpose-driven activity.
Absolutely.
I heard a quote that I thought was really relevant to this topic that I wanted to share with you and maybe get your thoughts on. I believe it was from Jim Carrey, and he said, "Suicide and depression is a very real thing, but if you're not eating right, getting outside, exercising, getting sunshine, and filling your life with positive people and positive thought, you're not giving yourself a chance."
Yeah, that's so true. How do you, we sort of retreat into our own darkness often, right? And we think that we're the only person that knows what our darkness is, or that's experiencing that. And I would challenge everybody to say that we all have those dark places, those dark thoughts, those moments in time. And for some people, those moments last long and they can't get out. I was inspired, I was telling you a story earlier about a good friend of mine. really inspired this in me as well, because he was able to get out and talk about, his mental health publicly, and give people permission to open up and talk about it. So
Sure. Well, that's incredible. I mean, that you've just opened the doors for all these people to get a chance to talk about a part of life that's not only hard to talk about, but it's incredibly important. So
yeah.
are you ready to go through some of the photos? Okay,
Absolutely.
we're gonna back up to
Okay.
the beginning.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, there it is.
I'm just gonna go through your photos one by one. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
These are all gonna spark great memories in Rod's mind.
Well, there's Julie. There's the one that challenged me to make this mean something, right? And so she and her husband Chris. This is a part of our group this was New Year's Eve up on Mount Spokane.
So this is in order, right?
This is in order.
Okay,
well,
cool.
It may or may not be. This just happens to be the first one, and so New Year's. I've been on Mount Spokane at between midnight and 4 o'clock in the morning more than once.
Yeah.
And it is bitter cold. It's
windy.
There. It's so cold up there. Yeah.
If you guys are looking up at Mount Spokane, the big bald face up there, it's bald for a reason.
Oh, and it was so cold that night. Oh, it's just miserable.
Good times.
So much fun.
We call that Type 2 fun, because it's certainly not Type 1 fun.
Yeah, it's great training ground. This is out at Illa Creek area, and so that's my wife Lisa, my buddy Chris and his girlfriend, and we went out. What I did was I started mapping out. I kind of did these concentric circles, right? And I started mapping out all. One of my criteria was having a peak where it had an elevation, and I want to be at an elevation of 3,000 feet or higher, right?
Sure, yeah,
and,
a notable summit.
Yeah,
sure.
And so we found, I think, 3 out here in this area. They were on the map. They had a little triangle with an elevation. So we ran up there and we did.
They've got the triangle. It's a summit. Yeah. You got punked, buddy.
Yeah, I did totally. Yeah, that wouldn't be the first time by him. That's Rocks of Sharon.
Cool.
Yeah, that was that same day, and so just up there. Yeah.
Nice. This is a good photo.
Oh man, this is up in the Snow Peak. This is Snow Peak up north in the Kettle Crest area, and photo cred goes to my buddy Robert
I like
Hubner.
that better.
Yeah, Photo Bob, Robert Hubner. We met on Mount Spokane. So he was friends of a friend, and he just happened to be on this trip at Mount Spokane. That's where we met. And so it's just like Mountaineers. Mountaineers. You meet people, and all of a sudden you connect. So
there's a lot of bonding that goes on climbing mountains.
Absolutely.
When you're tied to someone 30 feet away from you who's taking a poop on a glacier, you're bonding. You're bonding.
Yeah, that's true. So we went up, and I was I had my AT ski gear, my backcountry ski stuff, and he was snowshoeing, and we went up. We were going to try and do 2. We could only do this one, knock it out. There were some avalanche conditions on the other one. We just stayed away from it. This one was nice and solid, and so this was fun. This was early on in the year.
It's a great photo.
Yeah, he's a great photographer. That's what he does for a living. So
that's awesome. Yeah. Well, he's doing good work out there, making you look good.
This is my buddy Troy. That's the guy that got me into all this. And this was a training trip on Mount Spokane. I think we got up there, and his dog, Mattis is just he's a good dog. Yeah, a good mountain dog.
He's carrying his own gear like a good dog
That's just
should.
typical Mount Spokane weather. So
yeah, that's right.
This is
Stevens, right?
Yeah, Stevens Peak. So
that's a great photo.
Yeah, we went up, and we ended up on the summits. There were actually 2 summits. So you have Stevens Peak was the main goal, but there's another one, and I forget the name of it. It was like West Mountain or something like that, and that's where this one was at. And we skied up. There was 3 of us and 2 dogs, and it was me, Celine, and Troy, and we got up there, and this was the first one. So this was early. This was March, I think, April.
It's gorgeous up there.
I love Stevens Peak.
It's awesome. Absolutely. I'm going to be heading up there this weekend, I think, just to see how it looks.
Oh yeah, good.
You've also tapped into something here that I've also noticed. The summit photograph, standing on top of the summit, never looks quite as cool.
No, none of the pictures.
You got to be standing in front of the mountain in order for it to look that cool.
Yeah. This is great though. We were first tracks all the way up to the summit and got to ski off. Skiing off Stevens Peak is awesome.
I did it this year. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I went up there. I went up there with my split board.
Totally worth.
Went off it by myself. Yeah,
totally worth all the effort.
Let's go backcountry skiing next year.
All right, let's do it.
I'm praying for snow already.
Yeah.
Please start snowing in June.
Good. Yeah, that was top. That's Stevens Peak right there with Troy.
That's the summit photo, right?
That's the summit
photo. Not quite as good.
Yeah, and it's cold and windy and everything else. Yeah.
But you look happy.
Oh yeah, totally. I was happy to get that one done. Yeah. This
Great
is,
photo, Rob.
Yeah. So
Clearly not taken by your friend who's the professional.
So you'll see in a lot of my photos, I post just about everything on social media, and this is in Zion National Park. So we last April we did spring break. Lisa and I did a road trip. We wanted to go to Phoenix and visit my niece and nephew and stuff, and so we just took a road trip and we mapped out all these places. I started mapping out peaks, summits and stuff, and so this was on the way up to I can't. I'll think of it in just a minute. It's it's a real crazy one in Zion, and I'm.
I've never been, so I can't help here.
Yeah, I'll think about it in just a minute. I think it's on a sign in there somewhere. But I try to get these photos of Lisa behind me because I can catch some. She's gonna hate me for this, but
she got roped into all these summits with you.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. Oh, there it is.
That was the one I was. Yeah, that was what I started with.
Yeah, this one has a crazy. So it's an easy trail, and then you go up. It's Angel's Landing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
you could have said anything. I would have said yes.
The last part is there's this knife edge all the way up, and you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people going up and down, and there's this rickety chain that's hooked to these posts embedded in the rock that prevents you from falling off 1,000 feet to your death. And yeah, people are crazy. So
and then there's that many people. It's almost that reminds me of is Half Dome where they have like the little metal things bolted into the rock. So
pretty much
tourists can do their death-defying, never experienced it before
pretty much
stunts.
It was fun. This was at Grand Canyon. I think we're on the North Rim, and I just ran into this. I have the same hat, right? So I ran into this guy and so we just started talking and stuff. I said, hey, thank you for your service. And we were talking about the 55 Summits thing. And so that's just...
There he is.
I've run into so many veterans
What's his
on
name?
This trip. I have no idea.
Let's give him a name.
His name. Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you. We know you're out there watching.
That's in Phoenix. So we found, Phoenix is very flat, but they're surrounded by these mountains that have these, these trails that go up. And this one, I believe, had a real another one of those things where,
It's like the public going up there.
Yeah, but it was quite a little feat, especially 100-degree weather. So
you summited Phoenix.
Yeah, I summited Phoenix, and my wife, by the way, I got to tell you, she is deathly afraid of heights. Okay, so she has overcome some serious barriers.
This is a project of growth.
Oh, totally, yeah. So that's another one in Phoenix. So I got up there. This one was kind of crazy. Lisa was down below me because there was this last part that was just so sketchy that she was like, I'm not doing this, right? So I'm up there and I meet these two people up there. Well, they were from Spokane. They had lived in Spokane, then they had moved to Phoenix. So serendipitously, they were homies.
Wow.
So
small world out there.
Yeah. And then Lisa showed up right after that.
Also, I was noticing, is this decoration on your hat or is that the sweat lines from when it dries?
That's good old Arizona heat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, it looks good. They might need to adapt that into their new logos.
This is we named this. This has a real name, but my buddy Kelly and I, Kelly Migalski, he's a mountaineer and a friend of mine from work and stuff, and he's the one that talked me into the Mount Spokane one. But I think he's been on the most summits with me in the 55. So he's the guy that, man, he just kept me motivated throughout the year.
You kind of need that, right?
Yeah. But we were actually shooting for a different summit, and we got off, and then we got up to this one. We found this one, so we went for this one, and so we called this Lost Summit just because we sort of got lost, but it was a peak, and it had Anyways, I think it's called, I forget. It's named after the mining company Hecla. It's called Hecla Point or something like that. Anyways,
it's nice.
So yeah, it was really cool and
looks like good snow.
Looking. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we had great snow up there.
It's nice being able to ski down from a summit, isn't it?
I can't believe. Yeah. I had my snowshoes on, but it was all this fresh powder, and I just couldn't believe I didn't have.
Oh, you didn't have your.
I didn't have my skis. Yeah.
Never mind. I brought up a sore subject on that one.
Yeah.
Look at this nice cornice right here. I appreciate you staying safely away from the edge.
Yeah, we stayed way away from the cornice. Yeah. So,
that's that same day?
Right there.
Yeah.
That's Kelly. Yeah.
Looks like a good day.
Yeah, it was a good day. There's D.
That's our friend D.
That's Micah Peak, and this was kind of something. I think we threw this together at the last minute because it's constantly. A lot of these were training hikes too, right? So Micah Peak is like, hey, it's good training. Micah Peak is a great training hike if you want training. It's 3,000 feet. It's like 12 miles round trip.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and so I texted Dee and said, "Hey, I'm gonna do Micah Peak. You want to go?" And she says, "Yeah, let's go." And so that's what we did. We did it together. Yeah, yeah. There's Kelly. That's Steptoe Butte. It actually, so what we
Where's
found is
that?
Steptoe Butte is out south of town, and
So I was gonna say it looks almost like the Palouse.
that's the Palouse,
Yeah,
right? And it's the high point in the Palouse, right? So you can see it for miles, and you can drive all the way up to the top, right? And so Kelly said, "Hey, let's go do Steptoe Butte after work one night." So we did that, and we parked way at the bottom, and then we said, "Okay, we'll count it because we're going to walk all the way up that sucker."
Right.
So that's what we did.
Cool. This is your friend Kelly?
Yeah.
He looks. I have a friend, one of my best friends named Kelly, and they look very similar.
Oh, really?
We should get them
great.
hanging out.
Yeah, people thought we were crazy. So yeah, that's.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then they were right. God bless them.
Yeah. And more of the beautiful Palouse.
Yeah, that's a really nice photo.
Yeah.
Cool area.
Oh, that's Mount Hood.
That's Hood, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Hog's Back, and
now we're climbing mountains.
Now we're climbing mountains. This is a real one. This was my third attempt in 2 years at Hood. The weather, right? So the Cascades have their own weather, and they have a way of reminding you who's in charge, right? So this was the third attempt, and we hit perfect weather that day. We
Looks
skied
like a gorgeous day.
Yeah, we skied up. We dropped our skis just below the Hog's Back.
Is it kind of ice? It's all
totally
ice right
icy.
there.
Yeah,
you don't want to ski off that.
My first experience walking up in my AT boots, and, with crampons on. So,
how did they work?
Great,
pretty
great.
good.
But my feet were tired. But we summited. That was I had Anne Marie, and that's the only thing we didn't like was that.
Gets a little crowded up top, right?
Yeah. We worked our way through them and got up. And
so for those of you that are unfamiliar with this, these are rope teams. They've got 3 to 4 people on each team roped to each other, and at some point, travel gets slow, and sometimes there's lines.
Yeah, and I know there's I'm not a big guy on being roped on the pearly gates. I don't. Anyways, we won't go there.
Sure, we'll teach you that in mountain school.
Yeah. All right, there's Joanna, and she and Trish Thorman and I and my buddy Daryl all summited together and stuff. So
this was on Hood still, right?
This was Hood. That's
cool.
That's top of Hood, and
Hood.
And she's got enough energy for like 10 people. So she just we were in the vortex of Joanna as she just kind of sucked us up to the top with her. So it's pretty great.
Awesome. Yeah, Joanna's great.
And Trisha had her dog with her. There's my buddy Daryl. He's been on almost as many as Kelly. This guy is. We're yin and yang. We work together, and This guy, as you'll see on Rainier, can stare at his feet for 18 hours straight and not get bored. So
that's kind of what you need, right?
Yeah.
This is a really cool photo.
I just love this photo. I just love this look down into that whole vortex of that fumarole. I mean, that was just pretty. And people will ski down that and then come over the top and stuff.
That's wild. Yeah, it's like it really gives you a visual of how ice acts just like a liquid when it moves downhill. It's super neat.
Yeah.
That's a great view.
And I understand why people die on that mountain. So
yeah. Very morbid.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm just playing with you. Yeah, it's a dangerous sport. It's a sport of risk mitigation, right?
I love this mountain, though. Absolutely love this mountain. So
yeah, it's gorgeous. This is all created from very high winds.
Yeah.
These little riblets, these rivets that you see in between these ice crusts, that's all just wind flowing through it.
And it has its own weather pattern, too. Yeah. Jareen and I were up there at 70 mile per hour winds. Yeah, that's on the top again. Yeah.
This is, obviously he's wearing crampons, the spikes that you put on top of your ski boots to climb up ice. Looks like a hybrid mountaineering axe ski pole.
Yeah. So, it works out great.
Yeah, those are awesome.
That was a good one for that trip. Yeah.
St. Helens.
This has now become an annual trek for us and tradition.
This is a Mother's Day trip, right?
Yeah, Mother's Day.
Is that right? I saw you guys wearing dresses, and I know you're crazy, but
so we missed it this year, of course. But so Jareen started it for us, and we did Hood one day, and then we did St. Helens the next day.
So you climbed Mount Hood.
Yeah, so we did back-to-back summits. Yeah, so that was
for you.
And after I got down off Hood, I forget what time it was. I'm like, there is absolutely no way I'm going up St. Helens tomorrow. But by the time I woke up,
Yeah, you
got
feel
some
okay.
food, I felt great, and it was an awesome climb. And yeah, so this is a tradition. So that on Mother's Day, it started a long time ago. Some ladies, honoring their great grandmothers or whatever for climbing St. Helens in dresses. That's what they did. So
everybody wears dresses, right?
Everybody, and
It's
there's
like
a
the thing.
guy. Yeah, there's a guy. Yeah, that's the summit, or that's just below the summit, I think. So there's a
Is
guy
that Kelly?
that's Adam. He's that photo of me and Lisa in the very beginning.
yeah.
He's the guy who took that photo,
Okay,
and that's
cool.
Daryl and Jareen. So
Jareen.
Yeah.
I know Jareen. Jareen's great.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
Jareen.
yeah, little badass climber. Yeah,
And that's St. Helens.
that's looking down in the crater. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
That's down into the crater?
Yeah, looking down into the crater.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
From behind
Mhm.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a beautiful shot. And that's Rainier in the background?
Right here in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful
Cool.
weather.
Who are
Yeah.
you making your heart hands for?
Everybody that was watching. Yeah.
Good answer. I know I asked the tough questions out here.
That's headed up to Steamboat Prow on out of White River. So we were headed up to the Emmons Glacier. That's Mount Rainier.
Cool. Oh,
So,
you're on Rainier here.
Yeah. And
So Rainier was one of your 55 summits.
well, it was supposed to be. The summit of Rainier was supposed to be one of our 55 summits. So we left out. We got out pretty early in the year in the season, and so there's Steamboat Prow, I think, up there to the right. But
Ski marks.
yeah, a lot of skiers in there, and I wish I would have taken my skis just to ski out.
Sounds like a theme.
Here and as we were moving up the mountain, as we got up to Emmons, up at the high camp, the weather warmed up, and it didn't freeze. We weren't getting any freezing temperatures. And so this is where Daryl just was staring at his feet for like 24 hours, something like that. And it was just me.
That's a long climb.
Yeah, it was three of us. We had a 3-man team, and so as we got up, people were popping through snow bridges. It was so soft.
Yeah.
So we thought we would get colder temperatures, and so on summit morning we started going up, and we were popping through the snow. So we were really worried. I was worried about there was a wet slab effect and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just it was just the snow was terrible.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be ice, right? It's supposed to be glacier.
Fast climbing on ice.
And I did not like it. It's the first time on something like that I've ever been freaked out. And so we turned around and we at 11:05. I just did not want to be in an avalanche. So I was just we had a great team, good decision making. We'd already worked out the rules ahead of time that we'd talk about it, and if and it worked out great. And
there's no project worth risking everything for.
Yeah, second time I've turned around on Rainier, and while it's painful, I can still go back and do it again.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Mountain will be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, some more from that's Emmons Glacier right there. Yeah,
really beautiful.
I love that mountain.
Really powerful.
And hate her all at the same time.
Yeah. Well, type 2 fun.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry.
No,
Yeah,
the lighting's great here. It's a really cool photo.
Yeah, it was an afternoon, I think. Afternoon light. Yeah. Let's see, where's that at? I have no idea where that's at. That's probably. You might have to go to the next picture because I. Oh, that's up on South Baldy.
Oh, cool.
About north, up out of Northport there.
Yeah, I know where that is. Yeah.
My buddy Daryl and I, and we were able to. It took us a while to actually find that survey marker, and we had to go way back in the woods and then climb up on top of this rock. And that was the top of it, and so we actually found it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. It looks like a burn area.
Yeah, they had a big fire go through there a while back. So that is Stranger Mountain, I think, up out of Waits Lake. So again, went up and there were huckleberries. We went huckleberrying, and so my other buddy Daryl, and my wife Lisa and I found 2 peaks up there to hit.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
Yeah.
What are you pointing at?
I have no idea. I think I'm just pointing just for the heck
I
of it.
want to go home.
Yeah.
What are you holding? Is that Cheerios?
I have no idea. No idea what that is.
Looks delicious.
Food, yeah. So, no idea. Sorry.
More stuff. No.
Yeah,
no apologies, bro.
Oh, that's okay. Mailbox Peak. Yeah, so Mailbox Peak is over on the west side. So Lisa and I started, of course, Again, I have the best wife in the world. So for our anniversary, we took a little weekend trip over to the west side, and we stayed at this little bed and breakfast in North Bend, which was just awesome. But the first thing we did is we basically got up at 2 o'clock in the morning, drove the entire time to get to the trailhead, and Mailbox Peak, if on the new trail, is about 12 miles round trip. It's about 4,000 feet in elevation.
Dang, it's pretty good.
And it was like in the 90s that day,
Yeah,
so it was hot. But,
blistering hot.
So yeah, it was fun though. We had a great time.
Looks nice.
Yeah, yeah.
There she is.
That's a lot of people use Mailbox Peak to train for Rainier.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
Did she know that she was going to be joining you on this many of the summits when you first came up with the idea?
No, I don't think she intended to, but then she really got into it. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So I stuck my
Did
little.
you put your Marine?
I
Okay,
put a
cool.
sticker there. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. And that was on the that was down. That was when we got to the bottom.
Yes,
so,
that's the face you make when you realize there's beer left in the car.
Yeah, it's exactly what we did. We went in, we grabbed the chairs, set the chairs up, took our shoes off, and cracked open a beer and just drank a beer.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Kettle Crest, so that was Lisa and I headed back up north. Kettle Crest is up above Kettle Falls, Colville area.
Yeah.
Awesome, a large number of peaks up there to summit, and it's just beautiful up there. So,
yeah, it's a super cool area up by Kettle Falls.
Yeah, there we are.
There's good morel mushroom hunting up there too.
Yeah, and we found just I don't want to give huckleberries were just amazing.
Yeah, you don't want to give away your secrets, right?
I didn't say that. Forget I said that. Yeah.
There's no huckleberries in Kettle Falls.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't think of the name of this peak up there. It's just gonna make me crazy. This is what happens when you get old, okay? So
you climb 55 summits in a
I
year.
can't
That's
remember,
what happens.
Climb them, but I can't remember what they are. That's up there next to us. That's Snow Peak over there, and then this is whatever this is. So yeah, this is the big one.
That's
this
great,
one,
man.
Yeah, this one was a lot of rock hopping, which Lisa hates.
Yeah, it's tricky on the ankles.
Yeah, this is Glacier National Park, and we had gone that weekend. So that's my buddy Chris. That's my youngest son Matt.
Okay.
And we had gone over for the weekend.
Matt's probably watching, by the way.
I hope he's watching still. He's supposed to be heckling me, but so we went over with this plan. There's this traverse where you can hit like 5 peaks over there, and so you got to go straight up, and then you just go along this ridge run, and it's about 18 miles round trip. And so we were all set to go. We're going to do it, feeling good. And so we get over there, and that night it started to rain going up, and then it snowed that night. And we weren't prepared for snow because it was the summertime. It wasn't supposed to snow up there. And so we bagged that 5 peak trip just because we knew it was one of those things where we were going to have to sleep out anyways, like bivvy somewhere in the middle. Grizzly bears and snow. We knew we'd just be miserable. So we bagged that, and then we decided just to go hiking around. Then we found this place called Angel Wing, which I think will be in the next pictures and stuff. So that's Angel Wing. So this is looking across from the trail across the lake, but that's Angel Wing at the top.
This is a stunning photo.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite photo of the year, and you just get that glacial silt.
Yeah, that's like the glacial runoff waters kind of turn that turquoise blue.
Love it.
Yeah, it's super neat.
So we traversed around the trail around to the right.
You don't look happy to be there. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was just trying to be,
I'm just
serious.
playing with you.
Yeah. And
but
then
it's really
just
gorgeous.
go around. This is the top of Angel Wing.
So you're up there in that photo?
We're up there. Yep. We're up there in that photo. Yeah. So it took a while to get up there. We had to work our way around. We had to get the Grinnell Glacier is where the trail takes you up. So this is looking down on that lake is Grinnell Lake, Lower Grinnell Lake. And so it's a very popular trail. Lots of people, but we were the only people up here because all the tourists stop at the glacier.
They stop.
So we kept going, and we skirted the edge of the glacier, stayed off the glacier, and then we were able to make our way up to the top of Angel Wing, which is really cool.
Photos.
Yeah, glacier. I'll go. There's Grinnell Glacier right there. So
you're just alongside of it.
Yeah, that's the outflow there. Yeah, so yeah.
There climbed.
Yeah. Climbed there.
Yeah, you got to read it backwards. But I got you.
That's
the car beer.
Yeah, that's
why you climb mountains.
That's the recovery beer.
You don't have to climb mountains to get that, but when you do, it's that much better.
Totally.
That's a cool peak actually in the background. Is that the?
I don't know. That's just one of the thousands of peaks right at the campground.
It's pretty pretty stark.
Yeah,
It's cool.
absolutely. That's actually Harrison Peak. So it's another one of those trips. I mean, folks, if you're not in mountaineering yet, you want to get into mountaineering, you should join Spokane Mountaineers. Absolutely join Spokane Mountaineers and go to mountain school. But get used to disappointment. Get used to weather or whatever it is, turning around, making good decisions. This was the top of Harrison Peak. My friend Jareen, her idea. She has all these crazy harebrained ideas. She says, "Let's go do the Selkirk High Traverse." I went, "Yeah," because that's what I do, right? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in." And so we went up there, and we're supposed to have decent weather, good weather, right? Summertime. And it started raining about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We get up and it's just drizzling, and we're like, "Are you kidding me?" And it didn't look like it was going to let up. And we knew we couldn't, we didn't want to go do this whole 5-peak thing. And so I had all these trips planned, right? There was like 4 and 5 peaks, right? I'm like, yeah, I would have knocked it out early in the year. But then we got weathered out. It just was pouring all morning. And so we bagged that, and we decided just to hike up to Harrison Lake. And we thought, well, okay, let's go for the peak. So we were just soaked because we had to kind of walk through the bushes and stuff. Getting to the base of Harrison Peak is a little bit of a walk, and you're beating the bushes and stuff. So by the time we got up here, we were just soaked. I mean, and it was windy and cold, and
take the picture. Let's go.
Pre-hypothermic, and then we just beat it down off the mountain. But it was Jareen was intrepid and just kept pushing and stuff.
Yeah,
so
she's a beast.
Yeah.
That's the way climbing mountains. That's the way playing outside goes.
Yeah.
You don't always wind up with the adventure you planned. In fact, it's kind of rare that everything goes according to plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
These are your pants.
That was lunchtime, just sitting there. So I thought, oh, that's kind of funny. All the water was just dripping off.
Yeah, you're just soaking wet, right?
Yeah. There she is.
That's Jareen.
Yeah.
She's always laughing.
Wet. Yeah. That's just up off the top of top of Painted Rock, so that doesn't count as a summit. But
I love that place, though.
That's my training ground.
It's my training ground.
Yeah, okay.
Dibs on it.
It's our.
I'm playing with you, but that's really cool. This is a super local hike. You can go over to Indian Painted Rocks Trailhead and just go up.
Yeah, and you can do the whole Knothead Trail, 7.5 miles if you do it right, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, that's the Knothead Trail. That's a super cool hiking trail. Kind of goes up into the Von Trapp base and whatever nature area over there. You get good big views of Spokane, Lake Spokane, and the tributary and Little Spokane.
Part of the many conservation areas you talked about at the very beginning of this.
Yeah, there's a lot in Spokane, like in the city.
Yeah, this is Beacon Rock over on the Columbia River Gorge. So again, it was like 1,000 feet up, and my wife and I are coming back from what were we doing? Was it our anniversary this year? What was it? No. Oh, this was our anniversary trip. The other one wasn't. It was just a weekend jaunt over to North Bend. This was our anniversary trip, coming back from Portland for anniversary, and we had to hit something. And I had a back injury. I was like really bad that weekend, so I really couldn't do anything big. I mean, I was like, I could barely walk straight. And so we did this one, and you get going this trail, and then they've got these stairs built into the side, and you go in this circular way all the way to the top. It's just a fun touristy spot.
Yeah.
But it's got a survey mark at the top. It's got some elevation, and so we counted it. So
throw it in the bag and count it. Yeah. I mean, you've got a great mixture of things. You can't climb 55 Rainiers, can you?
Well, everything, like when we went down to Zion and all that, it was like driving by is like looking at the map to say, okay, if we pull over here, we can run up to this one really fast and and catch it, and then, so
it becomes almost transactional for some of them, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're just like, we got to throw a couple numbers.
Well, yeah,
in here.
when she sent me down to Southern California at the end of the year and said, you need to go. Yeah, she became my coach, right?
Right.
One of my all year coach, and she says, you got to get these done. So I need you to go somewhere warm where there's no snow and you can knock out. Don't come home till you have like 6 done. And that's literally what she says. So
that's
I ended
great.
up in Joshua Tree. I think there's probably some pictures from that too. So
any person would be lucky to have a wife who encourages them to that degree.
Yeah. That's that is up in the Mount Spokane area. That's on the other side. Quartz. That's Quartz Mountain Lookout.
Oh,
is
cool.
what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did that day, and that's a great place. What a great hike. Yeah.
I don't think I've done that one.
We're surrounded by just out of town.
It's innumerable, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a book that I've had forever, 100 Best Hikes of the Inland Northwest.
Yep.
Credit goes to Rich Landers if
Yeah.
he's watching.
I got it. Yeah.
I've got it too.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've got it signed by Rich. I don't even remember him signing it to
Rich,
me.
I don't have mine signed by you. I
Yeah.
just want you to know that, yeah.
It's from when I was probably 7 years old with Jerry White over at St. George's School. I got a signed copy of it.
Oh wow!
I thought it was
Nice.
so special. So
I had 2 books. The one with Rich Landers, that one, and then the other one is James P. Johnson, and he's a local writer too. And he's got a great book on I think it's 50 peaks in the Eastern Washington Inland Northwest.
yeah, I'll definitely
Great
check that
books.
out.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah, go
They're
get
both
some of
good
those
ones.
because you can
I think they're friends too. So yeah.
be like Rod. Go climb a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That looks fun.
Definitely. That's Quartz. Yeah, Quartz Mountain. Cool place.
Oh yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Same
cool.
place. Same place. Yeah. That's that. I did a couple of them. There's like 3 up in that area, I believe. So yeah, just having fun. Yeah.
That's a nice photo.
Yeah. Let's looking back over. So from I forget the name. This was like Horse Mountain or something like that. But looking over to Mount Spokane. So
That's Mount Spokane.
looking west.
Okay, yeah. Cool, cool. Very nice
Yeah.
photo.
Area up there.
There's Kelly.
Yep, that was up in. That's another one. Kettle Crest area. I spent a lot of time up there this year, so I'm getting to know that whole area.
Yeah.
And
Kind
this
of forces you out of your normal hikes to go
yeah.
do a project this
This
big,
was
right?
up towards. We were trying to. This was. We were headed towards Copper Butte. I think we got Copper Butte out of the way too, or Copper Peak or Copper Mountain, whatever it is. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the whole
That's a nice photo.
Yeah, so that's the fall in the Kettle Crest. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
things just starting to thaw out.
Yeah, so here's more Kettle Crest. There's the Nets, Jeff
Oh, yeah,
and Angela
Jeff.
Net,
What's going on,
and
Jeff?
Karen right there, and my wife. Yeah,
Karen's with you here?
Another Kettle Crest trip. Yeah, I mean we just hit it, and yeah, just fun.
This is snow just fallen, right? This is fall, right? So it's not melting; it's just coming.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Looks
yeah,
like fall.
I think so.
Those are the
Yeah.
tamaracks turning
It is-
yellow, right?
It is fall. Yeah, late summer, early fall, something like that. Yeah, I forget. Yeah, and this one we were punched. So we hiked in, and then we started hitting the snow. We didn't have snowshoes, so we were. And the trailhead, by the way, the trailhead was closed another 3 mile, or the road. We hit snow 3 miles from the trailhead, so we had an extra 6 miles we added to this trip.
Wow.
And these guys were just amazing. Their attitudes, everybody's attitudes were phenomenal because we had an extra 6 miles, and here we were post-holing, we were falling in up to our waist in snow just to get to the summit. And look, everybody's just smiling anyways.
Yeah,
But
no kidding. This is Karen Viel. She's one of our directors of mountain school for the past
amazing.
couple of years. She's a real
amazing.
trooper. Yeah, really incredible.
And we were getting. Oh yeah, this was great. That was fun.
The dog's the one who doesn't look very happy about it.
Yeah, he did really good. I had 2 longest trips back to the car ever, and this was one of them. This was absolutely one of the longest. It seemed 3 times as long back to the car.
Don't you love those memories?
Yeah.
Those are the memories
Yeah.
when you're just like, that was not fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just walking out.
Would you rather be going up or going down?
Now I'd rather go up. Yeah, I'd rather just go up.
I think I'd
good
way
at
rather
going
go
up.
up. That's why backcountry
Yeah.
skiing is great for me because down's real easy.
I'm good at going up. Yeah, the same area. Cool.
That's a nice photo.
That's Snow Peak. That was that Snow Peak trip with Bob. Yeah, so that was fun. I don't know where that's at. That's pointing at. I don't remember if that was
Rainier or Hood.
I honestly don't remember which trip that was. That might be. That's not Hood. Might be Rainier.
Looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I think that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that. Yeah, I forget where that one was.
Nice summit.
Yeah, that's a great summit. That might have been Adams. And then this is my trip down to Joshua Tree.
Oh yeah.
So So I was trying to find some place where it wasn't 10 feet of snow and
Sure.
and
This was your California trip?
Yeah, this is my California trip late in the year, like October, November, something like that. And Lisa said, "Go away, don't come back." So I met my buddy Speed. He retired from Avista last year, and he met me down there. We spent like 4 days down there just hitting all the high points. And so this was coming down off. So I did my first day there, I did this solo trip. I mapped out these 2 peaks that I could find. And so it was like about 5 miles back into this area. And I took like 3 liters of water, but it was so hot, right? I did all the wrong things. You're not supposed to hike out there in between like noon and 5 o'clock or whatever. Well, that's exactly where I was at. And so I'm coming down, and me, I got off trail because I want to go down this one area, and it was just so hot. And when I got to this point, I think I had about a half a liter of water left, and I still had like 3 miles to go. It was just so hot. But I see this thing, this mountain goat or bighorn sheep, excuse me, and I'm looking at him going, "Buddy, I know how you feel."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's how you feel sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, there's Speed. There we are, I don't know, headed up to some oasis, I think, 29 Palms. This is in the 29 Palms area of Joshua Tree. And
you got a really nice diversity of climates that you climbed through.
Oh, man, it was fun. Yeah,
Did it all.
It was great. Joshua, I will go back. Joshua Tree is amazing. So it doesn't look very high. That doesn't look... Yeah, that doesn't look very high, but we actually were up probably about 800-900 feet on that one.
Yeah, well, you were going up Rainier, so count it.
Yeah. So same place. Yeah, I think I got 8 summits out of that trip and stuff. So just amazing down there.
Very cool scenery.
Yeah.
Nice job.
And then Speed learned how to stack rocks. That was his thing, was stacking rocks.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, so there we go. That was a good one.
You got a lot done. You listened to your wife. Good for you.
Yeah, you can yeah. So, here we go. I think this one we actually found the scouts had put a geocache up there on this one. Getting back in there was real. Yeah, this one was tough. And the thing about Joshua Tree is there isn't anything friendly in Joshua Tree.
Right.
Every bush, every piece of grass is there to stab or cut you, and I found it all. So
and you found it all. You found it all the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the truck beers
celebration. That's right. Yeah.
That's what life's all about.
Yeah. So getting up there doesn't look hard, but it was it was quite a trek.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Boots.
Yeah.
Got to use those.
Yeah.
Right?
Those guys were awesome. They're
Boots, am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. This one I did by myself last day. I was getting ready to drive back to the airport, and I had some time, so I went and knocked out another one that I found, and I was on the way out of the park and went, hold on. So I pulled over and got the map out and said, okay, it's 6 miles round trip, and so it's this big giant loop, and you just work your way up, and you go around all these old mining sites, and then at the very back end, there's this peak back there, and so I think I jogged almost this whole thing just because I was just like on this adrenaline rush, and I was feeling so good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, this is...
These are your photos taken of your
This
wife.
is Rathdrum Mountain. Yeah. Yeah, this is Rathdrum Mountain with Lisa and Adam Knight. So, yep. So, yeah. And that is the top of Rathdrum Mountain that same day. So that was...
day.
Yeah. Fun stuff. Yeah. Anyways. And that, again, photo cred goes to Adam Knight.
Yeah,
so,
did a great job.
Yeah. And there is the motley crew at Antoine Peak. So we set up. I purposely left Antoine Peak as the last one. I didn't do that one. I saved it. Number one is because I thought I might need it as a go-to,
as a easy one to toss in there for a week off. Right?
Yeah. So I wanted to have something that people could go do if they weren't really big hikers and climbers. I wanted to save it for that, and that's why we ended up with this really cool group, and we went up and summited. We just got to do it together. It was just phenomenal. There's a lot of people, Dave and Jeff, there's so many people that are involved in that have been with me we're on the entire.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was unfortunate that we didn't get a chance to meet you sooner. This was the first one that I joined on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But,
sorry,
But it was that was a great day.
But yeah,
this is your support squad.
Yep. Yeah, and Yeah, the thing for me is that, the Mountaineer community is now my family, right? They've become an extension of my personal family. And so you said it before, you're connected at a level you never knew you could be connected. And so as literally tied together by a rope, but you're also tied together by this bond now that you have, going through mountain school together, you create these bonds and you create this trust, right? And when they first started talking about the beginning of mountain school, it was like, hey, look, you will find that, you're going to want to climb with these people because you're trained the same way, you think the same way. Now I understand it, right? I understand the importance of going through mountain school with a cohort group and learning the same things together that you can carry forward as you take these trips, and people that you can trust, but they become your family. I mean,
they do.
Yeah.
And, that's a really great way to say it. And, right now the world is in a bit of an uphill slog itself.
Yeah.
And so, you really find out what you're made of when you put yourself in a situation where you're just working off of grit and gummy bears.
Yeah.
And
right.
and that's the way the outdoors is. It teaches you what you're all about. It forces you to confront the realities within yourself, and it forces you to confront the brutal reality of nature around you. And out the other back end of it, you become a wholly new person with new experiences. And when you get to do that with other people, you wind up creating a bond. So
yeah.
And those bonds, like you said, I mean, look at this. Look at these many people here. That's what keeps people in a positive mindset and hopefully away from suicide. At least that's what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. I think there's nothing better than getting to the top of a mountain and that feeling that you get. You're so tired. You've wanted to quit, more than once, turn around, and you just keep pushing those voices back. But that feeling, that release that you get by experiencing that energy, but experiencing it with other people, right?
Totally.
I mean, there's nothing better. I love the alone time I get in the mountains sometimes,
Sure.
and I need it. But the energy I get is from the people around me and the energy that they share, and there's just nothing like it.
That's true. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you, because this has been a really great presentation. It's been really fun for me. What's in the future for you?
More climbing now that we're out of this. It's funny, the same day that I really started doing thinking, oh man, got to get at it. We're going to climb a bunch of mountains. All of a sudden, my Mountaineer buddies we started messaging each other and, talking about training and talking about mountains, things like that. So I've got a wedding to conduct on June 20th on Mount Adams. So we've got that coming up.
I'll be there.
Yeah. And
hopefully Kristen will come too.
Yeah. So it'll be the Adams wedding on Adams. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, that will be.
The Peterson Adams, we'll call it.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And so I've got some goals, some climbing goals, and my BHAG, right? So have a big, hairy, audacious goal and let everybody know what it is. So my BHAG for 2021 is with my good buddy Jody Benson. We're shooting for Lobuche in the Himalayas.
Wow.
And I'm hoping for 2021. I'll have to talk that out with her and find out, but hoping to get a group to go do that.
I take that as an invitation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be great. I'd love to go over to Nepal. It'd be awesome.
I think we're going to carry the veteran thing a little farther. Talking with a friend of mine about we're trying to kick off. I'm trying to kick off a small nonprofit and something to get veterans out and get them ascending. Right, get them to ascend out of their own personal darkness,
Sure.
their own mental illness, and get them to ascend mountains for real. And get them climbing, get them out, get them accomplishing things that get them within that group, and so more to come on that. But that's
awesome.
The next big goal for me.
You asked me to show something that I was going to pull up.
Yeah, thank you.
This is. Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong screen. I drag it over.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
thanks for doing that.
What's this?
It's a Veterans Crisis Line, so there are people that staff 24/7. So, it's become a very valuable resource for veterans who are, they're contemplating suicide, or they're just really, they really need somebody to talk to. And so, it's in 2017, 45,000 adults committed suicide in the United States. 6,000 of those were veterans or service people, and that's like 13% of that number, and that's just
wild.
And that's adults only,
Yeah.
and that's just too big. So you just get it down one person at a time.
Well, I really appreciate you.
And thanks for letting me talk
Yeah,
about this.
no, I mean this is an amazing experience for me too, because not only are you great at telling your stories, not only are your stories about goals that mountaineers should aspire to, right? Climbing mountains, but you've also tied it in so beautifully with a very meaningful part of everybody's life, which is mental health. I know that the outdoors is a very big part of my own mental health, and so it's something that we can really use as a tool to pull ourselves to new ground, to grow as people, and to create bonds with people that think like us. So
Great.
really appreciate you coming on tonight. Boom. Rod Price doing his 55 summits. As far as the Mountaineers' future, as we've put something online for you guys. It's a small document that shows kind of how our activity base is going to be opening back up as the state kind of reopens back up through Inslee's 4-step plan. And hopefully we're going to be able to proceed into step 2 pretty soon. We're going to get some activities moving with small groups, and then we're going to be able to put more back onto the schedule. We're going to be doing Tuesday night rock climbs down at Minnehaha, awesome. Thursday nights rock climbs out at Camelin. Is that how you say it?
Camelin, yeah.
Camelin, out in Post Falls. And there's going to be tons of hiking, tons of paddle trips coming up, mountain biking trips. We're going to be putting a lot on the schedule. So
yeah, if you're not a member of the Mountaineers, you need to join. It's the best $50 you will invest, and there's so much good education there. There's the people that are teaching these classes and taking care of these events are just amazing. So very smart people. Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate everybody tuning in. It's been a great general membership meeting for us. Next time we'll be able to do this in person, hopefully. We're also going to be doing some a barbecue. Our spring barbecue, our summer barbecue was scheduled for June. Will it be June? Will it be July? Stay tuned to the Spokane Mountaineers for you to find out. But Rod, thank you so much, brother.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate you coming on. Yeah. And go ahead and join us online for SpokaneMountaineers.org, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Spokane Mountaineers live video feed today. And yes, you can stop it. Wait, don't touch anything else after that, too.